All right, here we go. Percent test. You guys, when you took the test, your answers were scrambled up in a different order. So like number 1 for one person might have been different from number 1 for another person. So as you're going through and you see on KudaWorks the ones that you missed, you may want to, as you watch this video, you're going to have to fast forward a little bit to find the exact questions. But shouldn't be a big deal. Still be fine. So here we go. Number 1, find the percent change. So remember the formula. It's the amount of change divided by the original, or what it used to be. Some people prefer the new minus the old over the old. So we went from 60 to 83. So when you subtract those two numbers, we had a change of 23. And we used to be 60, so that's going to be my bottom number. It's always what it used to be. So I punch that in my calculator, 23 divided by 60, and I get 0.383 repeating. Then you need to make sure to either times it by 100 or move the decimal 2 places to change it to a percent. So we have a percent increase. So correct answer here is B. Number 2, 61% of 55. So remember, whatever comes after the word of, that's the total. And we're trying to find the piece or the portion of that total. 61% is over half, a little over half. So just looking at these answers, you know, this isn't half of 55. That's not half of 55. That's not half of 55. The only one that even makes sense is B. But whenever you want to find the percent of a number, you change it to a decimal and you multiply. And just to actually finish the problem, I'll times it out. And I get 33.55%. So actually, it probably should have been 33.6, but hey, close enough. Moving right along. Number 3 and number 4. Looks like I went a little bit too far there. So 3 and 4 says, what percent, so now we're trying to figure out what the percent is, out of 114 is 80.8. So you almost think about this like a test or a quiz. If it's out of 114 and you got 80.8, we're trying to figure out how big is this piece. Well, 80 out of 114 is more than half, so it definitely can't be these two jokers. It's 371% is kind of ridiculous. So again, just kind of looking at the numbers, it's got to be C. But let's actually, multiply this out or divide it out. 80.8 divided by 114 is 0.7087. So we're looking at somewhere in the neighborhood of 70.9%. If you like the percent equation, you could always use that. What percent of 114 is 8? Well, I'm not going to go down that road. That might be a little bit messier to try to force it into an equation. So number 4, this one was one of the most missed problems. 134 is 11% of what? So basically what we're saying is we had 134 out of, we're not quite sure what we're out of, but it came out to be 11%. So if you want to solve it that way, you can just multiply these two and you're going to get 134 equals 0.11x, and then divide both sides by 0.11. So 134 divided by 0.11, which is 1218.18. So that would be D. If you want to write it as an equation, 11% of a number, if I want to find 11% of, some number, and I know the answer is 134, well, we could just do 0.11 times x or n or whatever, and we're still going to be dividing both sides by 0.11. So either way, kind of comes out to be the same thing. All right. Number 5 and number 6. Here's where we get into the more of the word type problems. We're building up to SAT. So if an item costs this much money after a 6% sales tax, what was the original price? So remember, the format is always, you do the original. You then do all of your 1+% or 1- depending on if it's tax or discount or whatever. And then you end up with the final price. You know, this is the after. The original is the before price. So an item costs $27.56 after. So that's going to go over here. Okay. We had sales tax. So that's going to be 1.06. Okay, because 1 doesn't change a number. You know, you have the original price. 1 doesn't change it, but we're going to add the 6% tax. And now to solve, you always got to divide and you got to work backwards. Divide both sides by 1.06. 2756 divided by 1.06 is 2600. So correct answer here is A. I'll tell you what won't work. Okay, this is what a lot of people do, and I put this answer on all these type of problems because I know you're going to do it. So I put it on there just like the SAT does. A lot of you think that you can find 6% of 2756. You know, so you do that, you crank it out, and you get 0.06 times 2756, and you get 165. Why am I writing that? You get 165.36. And then you say, oh, so to go backwards, I just subtract those two. I do 2756 minus 165.36. And so 2756 minus previous answer. And you get 2590.64. And man, right there it is. So you feel good, but it's not right. Sorry, man. It can't work that way. And I'm going to explain it this one time. I'm not going to explain it like this on the other tests. But I'm going to remember this as number 5 so I can say it later. But when the original amount, $2,600, the state of Michigan looks at that $2,600 and they said, hey, you know, you need to give us, this is Michigan, you need to give us 6% of that number. All right, that's going straight to us. So really, they only got 2,600 times 0.06. They only got $156. All right. Then adding those two together is what you pay. You know, you're standing here. You end up paying the $27.56. So that's why you can't go and find 6% of this number, because Michigan didn't get that. They got 6% of a smaller number. So you're taking 6% of two different numbers, so just be careful. You can't do it that way. All right, moving forward. Number 6, a Supreme hoodie costs $269 before, so that's coming early, $269 before 7% tax. Tax, we got to add in the 7%. And then we need to figure out what is the final. This is just a straight up multiply. Boom, bam, bing, 287.83. 287.83. Money. So correct answer there is B. All right, jumping forward. 7 and 8. Number 7, price of gas has decreased by 18%. So I know somewhere in here there's going to be a decrease of 18%, which really means 0.82. Now, you don't have to change 0.82. You could have just left it this way. It'd be more stuff to type on your calculator, but who cares? The price used to be $2.89. So before used to be $2.89. What is it now? So again, just multiply straightforward times 0.82. You're looking at 2.3698, which rounds to 237. Correct answer is A. Number 8, the number of students at MHS has decreased 15%. 1 minus 15%. So you can either put that in there. I like to put this in here, but totally up to you. We now now have 730. So now is over here. What did we used to have? I don't know. So to solve for x, you divide by 0.85, and you get 730 divided by 0.85, and we're looking at 858.82. Let's just round that up to 859. 9 and 10. Boom. Max transfers 10% of his pay into a savings account every month. So 10% of his monthly pay. Well, here's what he makes. So he's transferring 10% of that $3,800 every month. Okay? So this is every single month. Well, 10% of a number, you just do 0.10 times the number, and really you don't need a calculator. You just move the decimal over one. And it's $380. So every month, that's what he's putting into his account. That much per month. But it says how much is he going to save in a year. So we need to times that number by 12, which would be 3,800 plus another 760. So what's that? 4560. Correct answer is C. Number 10, a group of 5 people spend $124 on dinner. 124 before the tip. So 124 before the tip. Tip is 20%. So that's going to make our bill go bigger. Boom. How much are we going to split it equally? Well, let's first find the total bill. So 124 times 1.2 is 148.8, since we're talking money. So that's my bill, but now we need to split it up between 5 people because we want to know how much each person is going to pay. So divide that by 5. Divided by 5. 29.76. Correct answer, C. All right, 11 and 12. A shirt is $60. Then it's discounted. Nobody buys it. Discounted again. Then someone pays tax. How much do they pay at the end, the total? So let's do this. $60 original price. Discount 30%, aka paid 70% full price. Discount another 30%, aka pay 70% of that new price. Sales tax, got to add 1.06. And where's that put us? 60 times 0.7 times 0.7 times 1.06. 31.16. That's a good deal. That's a heck of a deal. Now, I could have said what ended up being the percent change between those two, and we could have subtracted them, divided by 60, and found the true percent change. Number 12, monthly electric bill, $63.48 was. So it used to be $63.48. Due to a rate increase, it's now $71.14. So we increased. Okay, how much? I'm not really sure. Not a lot. You know, we went up. I do this in my head sometimes. 10% of this number means move the decimal one to the left. So 10% is $6.34. So if it goes up 10%, we're adding $6 to the bill. Well, we added more than 6, but not a whole lot. So like numbers like these two seem kind of crazy to me. They just don't even make sense. But here's how you really do it. It's the change over the original. So let's see how much it changed by. 71.14 minus 63.48. So I subtract these two numbers. The bill went up $7.66, a little bit more than that. But it used to be $63.48. So let's see what that is. Divided by 63.48. 0.1206. Times it by 100 or move the decimal. You're looking at 12.06%, rounded to 12.1. That's the increase in the old electric bill. 13 and 14, From 2005 to 2010, population increased by 14%. Let's just write that down. From 2005 over here to 2010, we went up. We increased 14%. If the city had 109,000 in 2010, so we had 109,000 this year. What were we in 05? So we're trying to figure out what the heck were we over here. Well, it's going to be less, so that number's out. Now we got some decisions to make. So let's do it. So we don't know what it used to be. An increase of 14% is 1 plus 0.14. And now we're here. So to figure out what we used to be, we just divide. And if you missed this problem, go back and look at number 5, where I go into detail showing the common mistake that a lot of people get. 109,000 divided by 1.14. You get 95,614. Correct answer A. Now, if you got this answer, it is wrong, and why it's wrong, go back and look at number 5 in this video, and I explain that more in detail. All right, number 14, according to current depreciation rates, that means a drop in value, your new car drops by 20% after the first year. So after the first year, we drop 20%. So that is year number 1. Then, for the next 4 years, you lose 10%. All right? So every year after that, we lose 10% for 4 more years. Okay? But it says if you purchase the new vehicle for $38,000, so this is our original, so $38,000 car. How much can you expect it to be worth after 3 years? So this is year number 1, this is year number 2, this is year number 3. We didn't need to go any further than that. Although we know it kept dropping 10%, but we don't need that. So I just like to put these numbers in here. Why I like to put these numbers in here is sometimes the SAT doesn't give you the answer. They write it in this format. And if you don't calculate that, you'll never see why they write it that way. Times 0.8 times 0.9 times 0.9. 24,624. Correct answer, C. $15 and $16. Looks like I got to make these a little bit smaller here. There we go. And it says a moving company rents trucks, provides movers, $60 a day, 80 cents per mile, and the guys get, or the ladies, whoever it is, get $16 per hour. Company provided a quote for a truck and 2 movers. Truck will be used for 2 days. All right, so we have a truck for 2 days. So for the truck, we have $60 a day times 2 days. So we have $120 for our truck. Distance, total distance, 90 miles. So for miles, we have 90 miles times 80 cents per mile, $72. Now we have 2 movers needed from 1 to 6. So that's 5 hours. So we have 5 hours for 2 movers. And we need them on both days. So for 2 days. So if I'm paying that, that's basically 2 movers times 5 hours. That's 10 hours I'm paying for. For 2 days, I'm paying 20 hours. So 20 hours times $16 an hour. So I'm spending $320 on the movers. Now, what's that total up to? 291, carry the 1. $512 total. So to the nearest whole percent, what percent of the total, so I got of on the bottom, is the cost of the movers, which is on the top, is over of, and we need to crank that out. So this is what I need to punch in my calculator. 320 divided by 512, 0.625, which rounds to about 63%. Correct answer is A. All right, number 16. Carpet salesman spends 30% of his day. Okay, that's a long time. A third of his day almost. How many minutes did he spend in customers' houses? Well, a third of a day is a lot of minutes. So I'm leaning towards one of these two. But to figure it out, I need to change this 8 hours. I need to times it by 60 and figure out that, hey, my full day is 480 minutes. So what is 30% of 480 minutes? So I do 0.30 times 480, and that comes out to be 144 minutes. So the correct answer there is B. All right, hopefully you can use this information. I don't think there's any more. Hopefully you can use this information to get yourself ready for the retake if you are eligible. See you.